Alright guys, so in this video I will be summarizing every single saga from Dragon Ball Z to ever exist. But before I can summarize any of Dragon Ball Z, I have to summarize the original Dragon Ball first, and cover Goku's origin story. So in the beginning of Dragon Ball, Kakarot was sent to Earth by his parents Bardock and Gine before Frieza could blow up the planet. And when Kakarot landed on Earth, he was found by Grandpa Gohan, who raised him and renamed him Goku. So a few years later, Grandpa Gohan dies and Goku becomes friends with Bulma, Yamcha, Puar, and Oolong. And he also trains under Master Roshi and becomes friends with Krillin. So in the rest of the original Dragon Ball, Goku takes down Mercenary Tao, he takes down like 93% of the Red Ribbon Army, he fights in a few tournaments and even becomes a giant monkey in one of them, and Goku also beats King Piccolo and his son or reincarnation, Piccolo Jr. And Goku also marries Chi-Chi and has a son named Gohan. So yeah, that's basically everything that happens in the original Dragon Ball. So now let's move on to the first saga of Dragon Ball Z, the Saiyan Saga. So in the beginning of the Saiyan Saga, Goku pulls up to Kame House to meet up with Master Roshi, Krillin, Bulma, and Turtle. And he also introduces them to Gohan as well. But then out of nowhere, Goku's long-lost brother Raditz shows up. And he basically says,
Kakarot, it's been a while, hasn't
I'm sorry, who are you talking to?
I'm talking to you, Kakarot.
Sorry, I still don't know who you're talking about. Who here is named Kakarot?
I'm talking to you, stupid!
Oh. Listen, Kakarot, you were sent to Earth so that you could eliminate all the inhabitants and so that we, the Saiyans, could sell this planet. Why hasn't that been done yet? Listen, brother, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but I'm not eliminating anyone on this planet.
Alright, let's make this easier. Alright, Kakarot, here's the deal. I want you to eliminate 1 billion Earthlings in the next 16 hours or your son here will meet his end.
That's not even humanly possible!
I don't care what's humanly possible or not, Kakarot. 1 billion people in the next 16 hours or you could say goodbye to your son. And we're Saiyans, not humans.
And with that, Raditz leaves. But then Piccolo shows up and he says, "Hey Goku, did that guy just take your son and leave?"
Yeah, he did.
Alright Goku, here's the deal. I'll help you get your son back, but then
I'm gonna you and make your son watch.
Alright, I'm not really sure about that, but yeah! So then Goku and Piccolo go to the location where Raditz is hiding Gohan. And once they meet up with Raditz, they immediately start fighting him. And Raditz proves to be too strong for Goku and Piccolo to handle. That is, until Gohan comes out of the space pot that Raditz was hiding him inside and does the freaking Mortal Kombat X Triborg to the chest bone move to Raditz. And this gives Goku the opportunity to finish Raditz off. So while Raditz was trying to attack Gohan for hitting him in the chest, Goku appears out of nowhere and grabs Raditz from his arms. And then Piccolo charges up and fires the special beam cannon, which takes out both Goku and Raditz simultaneously. So Goku ended up sacrificing himself to take Raditz down. And once the fight is finished, Piccolo walks up to Raditz and Raditz tells him,
You may have defeated me. But there are 2 other Saiyans. Both of them are stronger than me. And they're gonna come to this planet. They're gonna find the Dragon Balls. And they're gonna beat you. And they're gonna avenge me. You better watch your back.
So after Goku sacrificed himself to defeat Raditz, he was sent to the afterlife. And in the afterlife, Goku has to travel Snake Way so that he can meet up with King Kai. And King Kai will be the one to train Goku so that he's prepared for Vegeta and Nappa. Meanwhile, on Earth, Piccolo would be the one to train Gohan for a year. Actually, now that I think about it, it was more so Piccolo making Gohan suffer for a year. And while all that's going on, the rest of the Z Fighters are looking for the Dragon Ball so that they can revive Goku, and they're training on Kami's lookout. So fast forward to a year later, Piccolo and Gohan have finished their training, the Z Fighters have finished their training, and Goku has finished his training on King Kai's planet and has been revived with the Dragon Balls. But alongside all of that, Vegeta and Nappa have arrived on Earth. And Goku has to run through Snake Way all over again just to get back to the planet. So meanwhile on Earth, Piccolo and Gohan reunite with the Z Fighters so that they can all team up to take down Vegeta and Nappa. But unbeknownst to the Z Fighters, Vegeta and Nappa were way stronger than the Z Fighters could have ever anticipated. Vegeta and Nappa take out each and every single one of the Z Fighters apart from Gohan and Krillin. Nappa and Vegeta were so strong, in fact,
that Chaozu self-destructing himself onto Nappa didn't even lay a single scratch on him.
But after like 4 episodes of running through Snake Way, Goku finally shows up on Earth. And when Goku finds out that Vegeta and Nappa killed all of Goku's friends, Goku goes on to say, "Hey, you beat up all my friends. Now I'm gonna beat you." So then Goku proceeds to beat the crap out of Nappa with absolutely no difficulty. And Goku's power level during the fight proceeds to grow higher and higher.
Vegeta, what does the scouter say about his power level?
You stupid
And during this fight, Goku also casually drops 2 of the most iconic anime shots to ever exist in history. So once Goku finishes beating the crap out of Nappa, Nappa then crawls over to Vegeta and goes like, Vegeta, help me please. And then Vegeta's like, it's okay, bro. It's okay, don't worry. I got you, fam. I got Psych! Bro proceeds to yeet Nappa into the air and hits him with whatever the frick this move is called and just absolutely eradicates him from all existence. So then Goku goes like, man, you mean for that, but you know what? This place is too small. Let's fight somewhere bigger. And then Vegeta's like, I bet. So then Goku and Vegeta head to the rocky fields to finish off their fight, but Goku also leaves Krillin and Gohan behind so that he can keep them out of danger. So when Goku and Vegeta meet at the rocky fields, they immediately start their fight, and they're pretty evenly matched at first. But then Goku activates the Kaioken technique and starts beating down Vegeta. So then when Vegeta realizes that he's losing, he starts charging up the Gallic Gun. And in return, Goku starts charging up the Kamehameha. And then both of their attacks clash, and it looks like Vegeta's winning at first. But then Goku activates the Kaioken again, and this time he times it by 4. And this attack absolutely blows Vegeta away, knocking him down. So then Vegeta goes into even more desperate measures and turns himself into a Great Ape to try and beat Goku. And when Vegeta transforms, he just absolutely beats Goku down. So in order to save Goku, Krillin and Gohan show up at the rocky fields to fight Vegeta. But their efforts weren't enough either. But then out of nowhere, Yajiro becomes in clutch and cuts Vegeta's tail clean off, reverting him back to his base form. So in order to finally beat Vegeta in his base form, Goku passes down one of the techniques that he learned from King Kai over to Krillin. And that technique is the Spirit Bomb. So while Gohan is fighting Vegeta, Krillin charges up the Spirit Bomb. And he's able to successfully throw it at Vegeta, which knocks him upward and brings him back down, crashing to the floor. But even with the attack from the Spirit Bomb, Vegeta is still up and running and hits Goku, Gohan, and Krillin with an attack that knocks them all away. But seemingly out of nowhere, Gohan's tail just magically comes back. I don't know how it came back, but it happened to Goku in the original Dragon Ball as well, so I guess we're just gonna have to go with it. So Goku has one more idea to beat Vegeta, and that's for Gohan to look at the moon that Vegeta created. And by looking at the moon, Gohan will be able to turn into a Great Ape and stop Vegeta. So by looking at the moon, Gohan turns into a Great Ape and starts going absolutely wild. But then Goku starts talking to Gohan in his head and says, Gohan, listen to me. If you don't attack that McDonald's hairline looking ass dude, I'm grounding you for a month. So then Gohan proceeds to attack Vegeta, but Vegeta is just fast enough to evade Gohan's attacks, and he's successfully able to cut off Gohan's tail, reverting him back to his base form. But while Gohan was reverting to his base form, he ended up landing on Vegeta while he was still in his Great Ape form, which was able to knock Vegeta down. So after getting knocked down by Gohan, Vegeta's just like, you know what? I can't take it anymore, I'm out of here, man. So then he calls in a space pod to save him. But just before Vegeta is able to escape, Krillin catches up to him. And this time, Krillin is about to finish off Vegeta for good. But just before Krillin gets the chance to strike, Goku starts talking to Krillin telepathically. And he basically says, Krillin, don't finish off Vegeta. But why, Goku? Because if you do, you're actually gonna like mess up like the entire timeline of this show. So yeah, actually just don't finish him off. But, okay. So following Goku's request, Krillin ends up letting Vegeta go, and that marks the end of the Saiyan Saga. So after the events of the Saiyan Saga, Krillin comes up with a plan to go to this planet called Namek so that they can use their Dragon Balls and revive all of the people that Nappa and Vegeta ended up killing. So with this plan, Krillin, Gohan, and Bulma all go to Namek so that they can find their Dragon Balls and use them. But they chose the absolute worst time to go because Frieza and Vegeta were also on planet Namek. And Frieza also brought alongside him Dodoria and Zarbon, but they don't last very long though. So for the first half of this entire saga, it's really just Krillin, Gohan, Vegeta, and the Frieza Force looking for the Dragon Balls. But then Frieza calls in the Ginyu Force and they steal the rest of the Dragon Balls from Gohan, Krillin, and Vegeta. And they try to fight the Ginyu Force but get folded very badly. But after like 14 episodes, Goku finally shows up on Namek with a ship that Bulma's father built. And if you were wondering where Goku was the entire time, he was still healing after his brutal fight with Vegeta. But anyways, Goku shows up and just absolutely destroys the Ginyu Force. In fact, Goku pulled a Luigi during the fight and started beating them by doing absolutely nothing. But anyways, after defeating the Ginyu Force and helping Vegeta, Krillin, and Gohan, Goku basically goes like, hey guys, I'm not gonna be here for like the entire rest of this saga until like the very end. So you guys are on your own.
Wait, what?
See ya. So then Goku goes into a healing chamber for like the rest of the entire saga until the very end. But anyways, Gohan and Krillin summon the Dragon Porunga with the help of Dende. And with Dende's help, they're able to summon Porunga and bring back Piccolo from the dead. But then Frieza shows up immediately after and he is not happy that Krillin and Gohan used the wish. So Frieza basically speed runs through all of his transformations while simultaneously beating the crap out of Gohan, Krillin, Piccolo, and Vegeta. But mainly Vegeta. Vegeta got the absolute worst of it. But after like several episodes, Goku finally gets out of the healing chamber and meets up with Frieza. And Goku basically says to him, "Hey, you beat up all my friends. Now I'm gonna beat you." So then Goku and Frieza start fighting. But Frieza's power is only a little bit higher than Goku's. So in order to beat Frieza, Goku has to use the Spirit Bomb. So while Piccolo was distracting Frieza, Goku charges up the Spirit Bomb. And once it's fully charged, Goku throws it straight at Frieza, taking him out. And with that, Goku and his friends finish their mission and return to Earth safely. Is what I would say if Frieza did not come back. Frieza came back and he was more pissed off than you could ever imagine. He shot Piccolo in the chest and he blew Krillin up. And Goku was not having any of this. Goku was so angered by Krillin's death that he transformed into the legendary Super Saiyan that Frieza feared the most. And in his newly founded Super Saiyan form, Goku beats the shit out of Frieza. There's no other way I can word that. He just beats the shit out of him. So in an act of desperation to beat Goku, Frieza ends up destroying the core of planet Namek, basically putting the entire planet on the brink of destruction. And then Frieza basically says to Goku, 5 minutes. You have 5 minutes to beat me. Okay. Wait, what? And while Goku was beating up Frieza, Dende made a wish with the Dragon Balls and he basically wished that every single person left on Namek apart from Goku and Frieza were sent to Earth. So after a while of just beating up Frieza with no effort, Goku's basically like, you know what, man? I don't even want to fight you anymore, bro. You're too weak for me now. And then Frieza's like, no, I will not lose to a Saiyan monkey! Die! Wait, no. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Goku proceeds to beat the crap out of Frieza even more. And then Frieza tries to hit Goku with basically his own version of the Destructo Disc. But he ends up pulling a 2002 Green Goblin and hits himself with his own move. So then Frieza basically says to Goku, please, save me. And then Goku's like, why should I save you after all of the people that you've mercilessly killed? But even with Goku saying that, he still decides to give Frieza healing energy anyway. So after Goku gave Frieza healing energy, Frieza basically goes like,
that blasted monkey was foolish for trying to give me healing energy. Now he will pay. This time you will perish.
No. No, not again. Not again! Not again!
You fool!
And after Goku took out Frieza for good, Namek exploded. Did Goku end up surviving the destruction of Namek? Find out next time he survived. So, it's been a year after the events of the Frieza Saga happening. Goku is returning to Earth, Vegeta is no longer evil, all of the people that Vegeta and Nappa killed have been revived with the Dragon Balls, including Krillin. And Frieza is now a cyborg and is slowly coming towards Earth so that he can get revenge on Goku. Wait, what? So, yeah, Frieza wasn't really happy about losing to Goku back on Namek. So now he's been turned into a cyborg by his army and is now slowly coming towards Earth so that he can get his revenge. But instead of finding Goku when he lands on Earth, he instead finds Trunks, the Saiyan from the future. And Trunks immediately wipes out Frieza's entire army, then takes out Frieza himself, then his father.
Give you my word!
But after Frieza was destroyed by Trunks, Goku finally arrives to Earth. And when he does, Trunks tells him something in private, and it basically goes down like this. Hi Goku, my name is Trunks. I'm a Saiyan from the future and I took out Frieza in your absence. And in the next 3 years you're gonna get like a heart disease, so yeah, here's the cure for that. Also, these guys called the Androids are gonna show up and destroy everything, so train for that I guess. Anyway, see ya. So for the next 3 years, Goku and the rest of the Z Fighters train to get ready for the Androids. And when the time has passed, Goku and the rest of the Z Fighters go to South City to find the androids. And Yamcha is the one to find androids Dr. Gero and Android 19. And when he does, Dr. Gero grabs him by the mouth and puts a hole in his chest. And then he proceeds to destroy the entirety of South City right in front of the Z Fighters' faces. So then Goku says, "You know what? Let's go finish this fight somewhere else." And Dr. Gero ends up agreeing with him. So then Goku, the Z Fighters, and the androids go to the rocky fields to finish off their fight. And when Goku and Android 19 meet up at the rocky fields, they immediately start their fight. But the heart disease that Trunks warned Goku about 3 years ago starts to act up, and everyone immediately takes notice. Oh crap, guys! Something's wrong with my dad's heart! Oh man, you're telling me Goku's not even heart level anymore? So then Vegeta comes out of nowhere and takes Goku's place and says he'll be the one to defeat Android 19. And Yamcha, who was saved with the Zenzu Bean, takes Goku back to his house until he starts feeling better. So then Vegeta meets up with Android 19 and he shows everyone that he's learned how to go Super Saiyan. And during this, he also says his iconic speech.
Then something just snapped. Something inside of me.
So then Vegeta proceeds to rip off Android 19's arms, makes him scared, and then blows him up. And then Dr. Gero is like... So then he flies off to his base so that he can free androids 17 and 18. And when he does, he commands them to destroy Goku and the Z Fighters. And they basically reply with...
No.
So then they end up destroying Dr. Gero and freeing Android 16. But even with them destroying Dr. Gero, they're still like, let's go fight Goku anyway. But then Vegeta runs into them and he basically says, "Hey, I'm way stronger than Kakarot. Fight me instead." And then 18's like, okay. So then Android 18 proceeds to beat Vegeta with absolutely no difficulty, even to the point where she broke his arm. And Vegeta's reaction to her doing that was like... So then the Z Fighters catch up to Vegeta and the androids and they try to help Vegeta out. But alongside Vegeta, they also got defeated. And after defeating the Z Fighters, the androids continue their search for Goku. And the Z Fighters, on the other hand, split up to become stronger and to find Goku before the androids. So after all of that happening, Piccolo fused with Kami to gain more power. And immediately afterwards, he went into the city only to find no one there. Apart from this guy right here. And he immediately introduces himself to Piccolo.
Hi, my name is Cell. I stole Trunks' time machine from a completely different timeline and brought it to this era so that I could absorb the androids and achieve my perfect form. Also, I know all of your moves and I even have some of your cells in my body, including some from your friends as well. Anyways, I'm gonna go absorb more people so that I can become more powerful. See ya. Solar Flare!
So then Cell escapes and Piccolo reunites with the Z Fighters at Kame House. But then out of nowhere, the androids show up to Kame House. And they try to get Piccolo to tell them where Goku is, but he refuses. So then Android 17 and Piccolo start to fight on an island away from Kame House. But while their fight was going on, Cell showed up to absorb the androids. And Piccolo tried his absolute hardest to stop Cell from absorbing Android 17, but it was no use, he got him. And Cell transformed into his second form, becoming more powerful. And in his second form, Cell tried to absorb Android 18, but thanks to Tien, Android 18 was able to get away from Cell. So after a while, Vegeta shows up and he says to Cell,
Hey Cell, it's about time I put an end to you right now. So let's fight and get this over with.
So Vegeta proceeds to absolutely destroy Cell in their fight. But Cell ends up telling Vegeta about his perfect form and that he can get it by absorbing Android 18. So with this information, instead of Vegeta finishing off Cell right then and there, he instead lets him absorb Android 18. To this day, I still have no idea what Vegeta was thinking when he did this, but okay. So after absorbing Android 18, Cell achieved his perfect form. And with his new perfect form, Cell absolutely washes Vegeta, Trunks, and Krillin. And he could have finished them all off right then and there and destroyed the planet, but instead he goes like, so hey, instead of just destroying the planet, do you want to do like a tournament where like if I beat you, I get to destroy the planet, but if you beat me, I don't get to destroy the planet?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. So then Cell goes on the news to promote his tournament called the Cell Games. Meanwhile, the Z Fighters train in preparation for the tournament. So fast forward a few days later, the Cell Games are ready to begin, and Mr. Satan was the first one to go. Yeah, he didn't last very long. But with Mr. Satan out of the way, Goku was up next. And Goku and Cell's fight lasted for a while until Cell was like, you know what? Screw this ring. So then he goes ahead and destroys the entire ring, and then he says to Goku, okay, now we can fight anywhere. So Goku and Cell fight for a little bit longer until Goku says, I give up. And then he tags Gohan in to fight Cell. And to be honest, it was less of a fight and more of Cell effortlessly beating up Gohan. And Goku's reaction to this was him smiling while Cell was effortlessly beating up his own son. So then Android 16 steps in and tries to save Gohan by self-destructing himself onto Cell. But before 16 is able to get the chance, Cell is able to counterattack and destroy him. And nothing was left of 16 apart from his head. So then Cell goes like, that's it, you all are weak to me, I've had enough. And then he creates miniature versions of himself called Cell Juniors to attack all of the Z Fighters. And Gohan can't do nothing but stare while everyone else around him gets folded. But then Hercule throws Android 16's head near Gohan. And Android 16 basically says to him, Gohan, listen to me. Just get angry, bro. Like, just get as angry as possible. 16, you love this planet so much. With all of the anger built up inside of Gohan, he transformed into a Super Saiyan that has ascended past a Super Saiyan. A Super Saiyan 2. And in his newly founded transformation, Gohan destroys each and every single one of the Cell Juniors and effortlessly beats down Cell. Gohan's beatdown on Cell was so bad, in fact, that Cell spat out Android 18 and reverted back to his secondary form. So in a last resort move to defeat Gohan and destroy the Earth, Cell basically turned himself into a time bomb. So in order to stop Cell from destroying the planet, Goku knew what he had to do. He had to instant transmission himself away from Earth and take Cell with him before he exploded. So Goku said his goodbyes to the Z Fighters and Gohan, and instant transmission Cell to King Kai's planet where he would explode there. And that was the end of the Cell Saga. Is what I would say if Cell did not come back. Cell came back to life, shot Trunks in the chest, and he basically explained that because of his nucleus staying intact, he could just keep regenerating no matter how many times he's been destroyed. So Cell charged up one more Kamehameha to destroy the entire planet and the Z Fighters. And Gohan, with the help of Goku's words from Otherworld, gained the courage to charge up one more Kamehameha against Cell. So then both of their Kamehamehas clash, and it looks like Cell's winning at first. But with the help of Vegeta, Cell was caught off guard, and Gohan was able to unleash his full power into his final attack, finishing off Cell for good and saving the Earth. And that is the end of the Cell Saga. So it's been about 7 years after the events of the Cell games happening. Trunks defeated the androids in his future and brought peace to his timeline, although it didn't last very long. Gohan is now 16 and goes to school in Hercule's newly built town. Trunks is now 8 years old. Krillin, Android 18, and had a child named Marin. Dende is the new guardian of the Dragon Balls. And before Goku made a sacrifice against Cell, he was able to Chi-Chi one last time and had a son named Goten. So in the beginning of this saga, Gohan became like a superhero known as the Great Saiyaman. And he was kind of just doing his own thing until Videl, a classmate at Gohan's school and the daughter of Hercule, found out that he was the Great Saiyaman. So she decides to blackmail Gohan into joining the 25th World Martial Arts Tournament and to teaching her how to fly. And if Gohan didn't do both of these things, Videl would reveal his secret identity to everyone. So because he was being blackmailed into joining it anyway, Gohan decides to tell all of his friends and family about the 25th World Martial Arts Tournament. And most of them decide to join the tournament alongside Gohan. And Goku from Otherworld says that he's going to be joining the tournament as well, thanks to fortune teller Baba giving him one free day on Earth. So in the time leading up to the tournament, Gohan trains with Goten and teaches Videl how to fly. So fast forward some time later, and the 25th annual World Martial Arts Tournament was finally ready to begin. And it starts off with the Juniors division. Now, nothing really too crazy happened in the Juniors division apart from Goten and Trunks' matchup, where Trunks came out the winner, so let's just move on. Now, before the Adults division started, the Z Fighters met up with these dudes called Supreme Kai and Kibito. And Supreme Kai kinda just said some weird stuff, gave the Z Fighters a light-skinned stare, and then just left with Kibito for the time being. But with that out of the way, the Adults division finally started. And it started with Krillin beating the genie from Aladdin, then Supreme Kai pulling a Luigi like Goku did on Namek, and beating Piccolo by doing absolutely nothing. But the next matchup was between Videl and Spopovich. And you know what? I don't even think I can call this a matchup because it was more so Videl getting beat up by this guy for 2 episodes straight. 2 episodes of him just doing this. But thanks to Yamu getting Spopovich to stop, the beatdown on Videl finally ends. And the next matchup is between Gohan and Kibito. But before their matchup is even able to begin, Spopovich and Yamu come back, drain all of the energy out of Gohan's body, then leave. But Kibito was able to replenish Gohan's energy and bring him back to normal. So then Supreme Kai alongside Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, Krillin, Kibito, and Gohan follow Yamu and Spopovich to where they were flying to. And the place that Yamu and Spopovich were flying to just so happens to be this place right here. And when they arrive, they give the energy that they stole from Gohan to the evil wizard known as Babidi and his servant Deborah. And Babidi awards Yamu and Spopovich by taking both of their lives. And it turns out that Deborah and Babidi both knew that the Z Fighters were actually spying on them the entire time. And now knowing that the Z Fighters were spying on them the entire time, Deborah absolutely destroys Kibito and then turns Piccolo and Krillin to stone. And then he goes into the base alongside Babidi. And the rest of the Z Fighters follow them, but they leave Piccolo and Krillin behind because they're stone now. So when Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, and Supreme Kai enter the building, Deborah and Babidi basically give them a 5-floor gauntlet challenge. And Goku and Vegeta are able to clear the first 2 floors with ease, but the 3rd floor is where stuff goes wrong. You see, on the 3rd floor, it's Gohan's turn, and he ends up having to fight Deborah. So while he is able to fight against Deborah, it's clear that he does not have the upper hand. And Vegeta is completely bored by Gohan and Deborah's fight. And he states that he doesn't even want to be in Babidi's base and just wants to fight Goku. And this gives Deborah an idea, so he postpones his match with Gohan and goes back to Babidi. And Deborah basically tells Babidi that Vegeta is pure evil compared to Gohan and Goku. So Babidi uses his magic to take over Vegeta's mind. And Vegeta tries his absolute hardest to resist Babidi's magic, but unfortunately, it's not enough. And Vegeta becomes Majin Vegeta. So now with Vegeta under Babidi's control, Babidi transports everyone to the World Martial Arts Tournament. And when they arrive, Vegeta ends up destroying 1/4 of the entire stadium. But once wasn't enough, so Vegeta was like,
Man, the first time was so nice.
I had to do it twice.
And he blows up another quarter of the stadium. So then Babidi transports Goku and Vegeta alongside Gohan and Supreme Kai to the middle of nowhere, so that Goku and Vegeta can fight. And Supreme Kai and Gohan would try to find Babidi and stop him. So Goku and Vegeta start their fight, and their fight is actually building up energy for Majin Buu, the sole reason why all of this is happening anyway. And mid-fight, Vegeta explains to Goku that the sole reason he's fighting him is because he's tired of Goku holding back, and he's tired of playing second fiddle to him. But what makes this worse is that Goku was actually holding back during this fight. So yeah, you can kind of see what Vegeta was talking about. But anyways, by the time Gohan and Supreme Kai meet up with Babidi and Dabura, it's too late, and Majin Buu is about to hatch from his shell because of the fight going on between Goku and Vegeta. And Gohan tries everything in his power to stop Majin Buu from hatching, but it wasn't enough. And Majin Buu finally hatches from his shell, and he is revealed to be this guy right here. This is him. So Majin Buu finally hatches from his shell, and the first thing that he does is prance around like an idiot. But then Dabura proceeds to make Majin Buu mad, and then Buu proceeds to beat him up without any effort, and then he turns him into a cookie and eats him. And then Buu proceeds to effortlessly beat down both Supreme Kai and Gohan to the point where they both almost die. And both Vegeta and Goku are sensing what's going down right now. So Goku was able to reason with Vegeta and call off their fight for the time being so that they can take down Majin Buu. But Vegeta ends up knocking Goku out and taking the last Zenzu Bean for himself because he wants to be the one to take out Majin Buu all alone. So when Majin Buu and Vegeta meet up, they start their fight, and Goten, Trunks, Piccolo, and Krillin all spectate them. And Vegeta is able to land a few hits on Buu, but then he realizes that Buu is basically invincible to everything that he throws at him. And Majin Buu is easily able to make the match go back in his favor. So then Trunks and Goten step in to save Vegeta from Majin Buu. And Vegeta now knows exactly what he has to do to put Majin Buu down for good. But before he can do his plan, he tells Trunks something. Trunks, I now realize how bad of a father I am to you, and I've never even hugged you a day in your life. I will hug you now. It's okay, son. It's okay, don't worry. I'm here for you. I'm your side! So then Vegeta knocks out both Trunks and Goten, and Piccolo comes to pick them up so that he can take them to Kami's lookout for safety. And Vegeta's plan is to take himself out alongside Majin Buu. So Vegeta says his goodbyes to all of his loved ones and sacrifices himself to save the world. But just like Chaozu and Goku before him, Vegeta's sacrifice ended up being completely useless because Majin Buu came right back to life and started dancing on Vegeta's ashes. So then Majin Buu and Babidi start to go to different cities all across the world. And when they reach them, Majin Buu turns all of the people who live there into candy, eats them, and then he destroys the city when there's no more candy left. So Goku wakes up after being knocked out by Vegeta and goes to Kami's lookout to regroup with Piccolo and Krillin. And Goku admits that he himself will not even be enough to defeat Majin Buu. And while Goku is explaining things, Bulma, Chi-Chi, Yamcha, Android 18, Videl, Master Roshi, Ox King, Pawar, and Oolong summon Shenron. And they wish that all of the people who died during Vegeta's attack at the World Tournament were brought back to life. So then Goku instant transmissions himself to their location. He tells Shenron that they don't need any more wishes, and instant transmissions everyone back to Kami's lookout. So Goku tells everyone about Gohan and Vegeta being dead, even though Gohan was actually alive and well, and was training with Kibito and Supreme Kai at the land of the Kais. So Goku comes up with a plan to revive everyone with the Dragon Balls after Buu has been defeated. But it turns out that Bulma left her Dragon Ball radar at the Capsule Court building. So she sends Trunks over there to get it. But it turns out that the city that the Capsule Court building is in is the next city that Buu and Babidi are attacking next. So Goku goes over there to distract Majin Buu and Babidi from destroying the building. And during his distraction, Goku also shows off his newly founded transformation. Hey Majin Buu, my name's Goku and I'm here to stop you for good. But first, I'd like to show you something I've been working on. This is a Super Saiyan. And this is the form of a Super Saiyan that has ascended past 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 a Super
Later.
that has ascended past a Super Saiyan. Or you can just call this a Super Saiyan 2.
And this is to go even beyond.
Goku finally became the legendary Super Saiyan 3. And in this form, Goku was able to fight Majin Buu long enough that Trunks was able to get the Dragon Ball radar. And before Goku leaves, he tells Babidi and Buu about Trunks and Goten, and that in 2 days, they'll become even more powerful than they could possibly imagine. So Goku goes back to Kami's lookout and uses the rest of the time that he has on Earth training Trunks and Goten on Fusion. But soon enough, Goku's time on Earth runs out, and Baba sends him back to Otherworld. And Piccolo would be the one to train Goten and Trunks on Fusion now. So back to Babidi and Buu. Majin Buu gets pretty tired of Babidi bossing him around, so he grabs him by the neck and punches his head clean off, freeing himself from Babidi's orders. But even with him no longer having to follow Babidi's orders, Buu still goes around destroying cities and eating people. But after a while, Majin Buu gets tired and decides to build a house. But then Hercule shows up to the house, and he shows up to try and defeat Majin Buu for good. And he basically uses a bunch of tools to try and defeat him, but none of them work. So then Hercule decides to just become Majin Buu's friend. And as his friend, Hercule cooks for Majin Buu. He actually got him to stop eating people. Majin Buu got a dog who became his pet. And Majin Buu actually started to see Hercule as a genuine friend. But then these two dudes show up and they shoot Majin Buu's dog. Hercule did not let this slide, however, and beat up both of them. And Majin Buu was able to restore the dog back to life. But just as things were starting to go back to normal, the blonde hair guy came back and shot Hercule. And this absolutely angered Majin Buu. So he quickly healed Hercule back to life and told him to get away. And all of the anger and evil built up inside of Majin Buu came out of his body as its own entity. And this evil version of Majin Buu is known as Evil Buu. So Evil Buu destroys the blonde hair guy, walks up to Majin Buu, stares him down, and then they begin to fight. But it's very clear that Evil Buu has the upper hand. So in a last resort move, Majin Buu tries to turn Evil Buu into chocolate using his candy bean. But Evil Buu ends up countering his attack and turns him into candy. And then Evil Buu eats Majin Buu and becomes Super Buu. And the first thing that Super Buu does when he awakens is scream at the top of his lungs. So after Goku was sent back to Otherworld by Baba, he was able to sense Gohan's energy at the land of the Kais. So Goku goes there to find Gohan training with Kibito and Supreme Kai. And Gohan was training with the weapon known as the Z-Sword, a weapon known for its amazing power and strength. But Gohan and the Kais end up training with the sword a little too hard and break it. But it turns out that there was actually a guy inside of the sword known as the Old Kai. And he tells Gohan that he can give him amazing power, but only if Gohan's able to hook him up with a woman. So Goku's able to negotiate a deal with Old Kai, and Gohan and Old Kai start their training. And the training is Old Kai and Gohan sitting down while Old Kai awakens Gohan's full potential and reads his magazine. That's it. But now let's go back to what's happening on Earth. So after screaming at the top of his lungs, Super Buu proceeds to fly to Kami's lookout. And when he arrives, this basically happens.
Where are they?
Whoa, what in the world are you talking about?
The fighters that the warrior with long gold hair promised me. Where are they?
Listen, I don't really know where they are right now. They're probably resting or something. Listen, just give them more time. I promise they'll be ready.
Where are they?
Please, just give them more time. So, because Trunks and Goten weren't ready to fight Super Buu yet, out of boredom, Super Buu just decided to eliminate every remaining human left on Earth. But even after doing that, Trunks and Goten still weren't ready. So Piccolo made Super Buu wait for an hour for them to prepare. But after like 2 seconds, Super Buu just immediately got bored and decided that he was not gonna wait that hour. Also, during that 2 seconds, Chi-Chi got turned into an egg by Super Buu because she decided to approach him, and then she got crushed. And Goten was there to see it all, so he wasn't really happy about that. So Goten and Trunks were training in the hyperbolic time chamber, and because Super Buu didn't want to wait an hour, Piccolo was taking him right to them. So when Piccolo and Super Buu enter the hyperbolic time chamber, Goten and Trunks fuse into Gotenks. So Super Buu and Gotenks begin their fight. But it's very clear that Super Buu had the advantage and Gotenks was just kind of messing around the entire fight. So because Piccolo thought that Gotenks wasn't going to be strong enough to defeat Super Buu, Piccolo destroyed the door to the hyperbolic time chamber, which which pretty much put himself, Super Buu, and Gotenks in the hyperbolic time chamber permanently. And Super Buu and Gotenks were not really happy about this, primarily Super Buu. And Super Buu got so mad that he screamed a portal between the real world and the hyperbolic time chamber. So Super Buu entered the portal, leaving Piccolo and Gotenks behind. And when Buu escaped the hyperbolic time chamber, he turned everyone on Kami's lookout into candy and ate them. So because Piccolo and Gotenks saw Super Buu do it, Gotenks and Piccolo screamed to make a portal between the hyperbolic time chamber and Kami's lookout. And Gotenks also went Super Saiyan 3 for the first time, so that him and Piccolo had a higher chance of their plan working. So Gotenks and Piccolo screamed very loud, and they were able to create a portal just like Buu did. So they went through the portal and escaped the hyperbolic time chamber. So Gotenks starts to fight Super Buu again so that he can avenge all of the people that he ate. And when they fight, Gotenks is actually able to do some good damage to Super Buu. But just as Gotenks is about to deliver the final blow to Super Buu, he runs out of energy and his Super Saiyan 3 transformation runs out. But just as that happens, Gohan's training with Elder Kai ends and he's able to go back to Earth. And when he does, Gohan immediately meets up with Super Buu and they begin their fight. And Gohan was absolutely embarrassing Super Buu during their fight with his newly awakened potential. So in a last resort move, Super Buu tried to self-destruct himself to defeat Gohan. But Gohan, Goten, Trunks, and Piccolo were all able to move away from the explosion. So Gohan, Goten, Trunks, and Piccolo all regroup and they meet up with Hercule, who was stranded after Super Buu's attack, and Dende, who was sent to Earth by Mr. Popo during Super Buu's attack on Kami's lookout. So after a while of regrouping, Super Buu comes back, and he challenges Goten and Trunks to fuse into Gotenks so that he can fight them. But Super Buu ends up tricking Gotenks, traps both him and Piccolo, and absorbs them both. And Super Buu steals the power of both Gotenks and Piccolo, becoming more stronger and more powerful than he once was before. So after absorbing Piccolo and Gotenks, Super Buu became way more powerful than he already was. And with this new power, Super Buu immediately started beating down Gohan. And the beatdown on Gohan was so bad that Elder Kai came up with an idea. And his idea was that he could give his life to Goku so that he can go back to Earth and take down Super Buu. So Elder Kai and Goku swap lives and now Goku was able to go back to Earth. But before Goku leaves, Elder Kai gives Goku the Potara earrings. And with them, Goku would be able to fuse with Gohan and take down Majin Buu. Also, Kibito and Supreme Kai use the Potara earrings and now they look like this. So Goku goes back to Earth and meets up with Super Buu. And Goku basically says to him, "Hey, you beat up all my friends." "Now I'm gonna Gohan cat." So Goku throws Gohan one of the Potara earrings, but he ends up missing it. Yes, he missed the thing that was gonna help him and Goku save the entire universe. And Super Buu saw this as an opportunity, so he absorbed Gohan like he did Gotenks and Piccolo, giving him even more power. But when this happens, Vegeta shows up thanks to King Yama and Baba bringing him back to Earth. And when Vegeta shows up, Goku tries to get him to fuse with him, but Vegeta declines because he wants to fight Buu solo. But Super Buu ends up beating them both, so Vegeta immediately switches up. So both Goku and Vegeta put on their Potara earrings, and they become the Saiyan fusion warrior known as Vegito. So then Super Buu and Vegito start their fight, and Vegito was absolutely destroying Super Buu. Super Buu was trying everything in his power to try and beat Vegito. He even tried going inside of his body and destroying him from the inside and turning him into candy, but nothing worked. So Vegito was about to finish Super Buu off, so he started counting from 1 to 10. And this gave Super Buu the idea to absorb Vegito and take his power. So he did exactly that, and now Vegito was inside of Super Buu's body. But this was actually all a part of Vegito's plan. He wanted to go inside of Super Buu's body so that he could free all of the people that he absorbed. But because the energy inside of Buu's body was too high, Vegito defused and Goku and Vegeta became separate again. So Goku and Vegeta start to look for the people that Buu absorbed inside of his body. And Goku and Vegeta end up finding Gohan, Piccolo, Goten, and Trunks. So they remove them from Buu's body and Buu starts to lose power. So Buu goes inside of his own body and finds Goku and Vegeta in there. So Buu starts to fight Goku and Vegeta inside of his own body. And because it's his own body, Buu has a very clear advantage and is easily able to take down Goku. So Super Buu was about to land the final blow to Goku, but Vegeta finds the fat version of Buu inside of Super Buu's body. Vegeta saw that Super Buu was clearly afraid by this, so he rips the fat version of Buu out of him. And because of this, Buu starts to transform again while Goku and Vegeta are still in his body. So Goku and Vegeta are able to grab everyone in Buu's body and escape. But Super Buu was still transforming, and Super Buu transformed into the most vicious and most destructive version of himself yet. Kid Buu. And the first thing that Kid Buu does when he awakens is scream at the top of his lungs and destroy the entire planet. Now, before Kid Buu was actually able to destroy the entire planet, Goku was able to grab Dende and Hercule, and Kibito Kai was able to instant transmission Goku and Vegeta to the land of the Kais. And after destroying the Earth, Kid Buu starts to go around to different planets in the solar system and destroying them while looking for Goku and Vegeta. But then he finally senses them at the land of the Kais, so he decides to go there. And when Kid Buu reaches the land of the Kais, he meets up with all of his past victims, and he proceeds to beat them up again, even though they were already dead. But then Kid Buu was able to track Goku and Vegeta's energy again, so he goes straight to their location. So Kid Buu shows up to Goku and Vegeta's location, and Kibito Kai, Dende, and Old Kai instant transmission to just some random place. I don't know what this place is called. And Goku and Vegeta play rock, paper, scissors to see who fights Kid Buu first. And Goku ends up winning, so he gets to go first. And Goku and Kid Buu had this absolutely insane fight at the land of the Kais. Goku and Kid Buu were using every technique at their disposal to win, and the fight was literally terraforming rocks and changing the color of the scenery. But then it was finally Vegeta's turn to go, but he got absolutely folded by Kid Buu, so Goku just tagged right back in. So Goku fights Kid Buu for a little bit more, but he tells Vegeta that he can't beat him yet because he's not at his full power. So Vegeta fights Kid Buu until Goku is done charging up, but after a very long time of getting beat down, Vegeta finally gets knocked out. But then Hercule decides to step in for Vegeta, but surprisingly he was actually doing a very good job at dodging Kid Buu's attacks. But after seeing Hercule, Kid Buu spits out the fat version of Majin Buu out of his body, and then the fat version of Majin Buu covers for Hercule and starts to fight Kid Buu. So after like a billion episodes of charging, Goku finally powers down and realizes that his charging up won't be enough. So Vegeta tells Elder Kai, Kibito Kai, and Dende to go to Planet Namek telepathically, because he has a plan and the Dragon Balls are necessary for it. So Kibito Kai alongside Old Kai and Dende instant transmission to Planet Namek. And when they get there, they ask the fellow Namekians for the Dragon Balls, which luckily they were able to have them. So Dende summons the Dragon Purunga, and his first wish is to bring back the Earth. And his second wish is to bring back all of the people whose lives were taken by Majin Buu and Babidi. And Vegeta reveals that his plan is for Goku to use a Spirit Bomb with the help of everyone that's been revived back on Earth. So Vegeta tells everyone on Earth to lend Goku their energy, but they don't listen. And Goku does the exact same thing, and he gets a few people to lend them their energy, but it's still not enough. So then Hercule steps in, and he gets pretty mad about people not lending Goku their energy. So Hercule tells everyone to lend Goku some energy, and a lot of people end up listening because Hercule is the world champion. And when the Spirit Bomb is finally ready, Fat Buu puts Kid Buu in position, and Goku throws the Spirit Bomb straight at Kid Buu. But even with the full power of the Spirit Bomb, Goku is still weak after how long he was trying to charge it for, and Kid Buu is able to resist it for a while. So Vegeta tells Dende that Goku is running low on energy, and Dende uses the third wish with the Dragon Balls to replenish all of Goku's energy. And with his full power restored, Goku was able to push the Spirit Bomb back at Kid Buu, taking him out and not only saving the entire world, but the entire universe. And that is the end of the Buu Saga. Now, before I talk about the end of Dragon Ball Z, I just need to clear something up. Now, the end of Dragon Ball Z actually takes place 10 years after the events of the Buu Saga. And those 10 years are actually the events of Dragon Ball Super. So the end of Z isn't just the end of Dragon Ball Z, it is the end of everything canon to Dragon Ball. So with that out of the way, I'm now going to cover the end of Z. So without further ado, let's begin. So it's been about 10 years after the events of the Buu Saga. Goku and Vegeta are basically old men now. Gohan had a child with Videl and named her Pan. Goten and Trunks are young adults now. Everyone has forgotten their memory of Majin Buu. Majin Buu now lives with Hercule. And speaking of Hercule, he's actually going to be hosting the next World Martial Arts Tournament soon. And Goku tells everyone that he's going to be joining. So alongside Goku, Vegeta, Trunks, and Goten join the tournament as well. But Goku's only really joining for one specific person. And that person's name is Oob, the supposed reincarnation of Kid Buu. So the day of the tournament comes, and Goku asks Fat Buu to switch the ballots so that he can get his matchup with Oob. And Fat Buu did exactly that, and now Goku was set to fight Oob. So the time finally came, and now Goku was set to fight Oob. And Goku purposefully gets Oob upset so that he can awaken his power. And Oob actually proves to be a pretty good matchup for Goku, to the point where he almost actually beat him. But Goku ended up bouncing back and defeating him instead. So because Goku wanted to awaken the immense power that Oob had, Goku tells everyone that he's gonna be leaving for a while to train with Oob in his village. So Goku tells everyone goodbye and leaves with Oob to begin their immense training and to seek out new adventures. And that is the end of Dragon Ball Z. And this is the outro for this video. I'm just kidding. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. It took a pretty long while to make, but hey, you just got done watching it. And hey, I would really appreciate it if you guys could just hit the like and subscribe button. I'm not forcing you to do it or anything, but I would really appreciate it if you would. But anyways, that's gonna be it for me, and thank you all for watching this video.